Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my 2018 bullet journal flip through video. It'll kind of be a more in-depth tour because I posted a quick one on my Instagram yesterday, but this one will be a little bit more in-depth. In my last bullet journal tour video, which was I think almost 2 years ago now, I talked about all the different tools that I use in that video. And I think I'm going to talk about what I use now because it has changed a little bit since then. So for most of the pages in my book, I use a variety of pens that I really like. My favorite brand of pens are these Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. They come in lots of different sizes, so these are my favorite ones to use, and I use them for most of my spreads. And then I also use, for more decoration or decorative type fonts, I use these, which are by Tombow. I don't really know what kind these are. These are just like calligraphy pens, which are like, they have a bit of a brush tip on them, and they're really nice to use. And then I also started using these, which are the Staedtler Fineliner pens. I really like these. I have a package that has them in like almost every color, and they're so nice. They have a super fine tip. I can show you here. It's super fine, really nice for writing. And then a really new addition to my collection of pens, I also got these for my birthday. These are the Tombow, I can't remember what this type of pen is called, but they're the dual-ended ones, so this side has a brush tip, and then this side is a more fine tip, and they're so nice to use. They are a little bit more sheer in coverage, which is really nice to use them in headers and stuff like that, and I have these in lots of different colors too. And then the last thing I use, I know I showed these in my old video, these are the Prismacolor Premier markers. I love these, but they do bleed extremely on the pages. They have a brush tip, and some of them have a chisel tip, and then a finer tip on this end. So I don't use them that much anymore, but I still do recommend these, even though they're pretty expensive. And then the last thing that I use often is washi tape. I have so many different types of washi tape. I don't have a lot at my house right now. A lot of them are at school for me, but these are such a great way to add color and onto each of your pages and to fill up space. So these are all of the tools that I use pretty much throughout my journal. I'll try to link them in the description box if you want to check them out online. This is from Michaels. I know they still sell it. But my old journal is also from Michaels. This was my old journal, which is pretty much completely full. And I loved using this one. And this one is also from Michaels. I don't know if you can still buy this journal, but I know you can still buy this one. So I started this journal at the beginning of 2018, which, Happy New Year. It's 2019 now, which is cool. And I use this pretty much for the whole year. So this first page, I always leave these end sheets blank. This first page, I wanted to do something like continuing the adventure from my last journal, and then under this little piece of paper is just like my contact information if I ever lost it. This is my future log for 2018, which I actually ended up not liking or using very much. I found that the way that I designed this, it was like too small to put anything on this side, and then this side, like, I just never, for some reason, ever wanted to use it, so I didn't. But basically a future log is just where you can hold events that are far in the future, like maybe birthdays or vacations or larger events that you already know about, but maybe haven't planned that month yet, so it's a space where you can track them so that you won't forget them when you are planning out that month. These two spreads you might have seen on my Instagram. They're both year-long spreads that I love. This Songs of the Year, I picked basically my favorite or most played song for each month during the year, and I just wrote them down. And then this one is a year in pixels, which is, I'm pretty sure this is the third year that I've done it. Or this was the second year, but I'm doing it again for 2019, which is basically just a mood tracker for every day of the year. And I absolutely love this spread, and I'm probably going to do it like every year from now on because it's incredible to get to go back and look at what your year was like. See, this is from these Prismacolor markers that I showed. They bleed very badly. And then I don't know when I painted these, but I just taped them in there. And then I did this divider for January, which has like washi tape and markers. This is my January calendar and habit tracker page. You'll be able to see throughout this journal that I basically do every month differently. Like, I don't ever have the same plan. I used to do a habit tracker for every month in like 2017, but I kind of stopped doing it, and I didn't do it a lot during January. Like, I kind of didn't keep track of it very well, so I kind of just let it go. And then I also try to choose a sort of theme for each month. So January was sort of like flowers and greenery, and that theme will usually have some sort of doodle and some sort of color scheme. So this one was obviously blue and green pretty much. And yeah, I draw my calendars pretty much the same way every month, and then whatever is on this page sort of varies depending on what month it is. This is an example of a weekly spread I did in January, which I don't always do them like this. It kind of depends, and then I'll doodle or put quotes or drawings or tape in it, whatever. Here's another weekly spread with more tape and doodles. This is my movies to see spread. I actually haven't updated this. I saw a bunch of these movies already, but I love to keep track of movies I want to see because seeing movies in theaters is one of like my favorite things. So I drew this really cool old-fashioned camera. This is another weekly spread, which is actually really ugly. I don't like it at all. Goodbye. Another weekly spread and another little drawing. Here's another divider for February. As you can tell, the theme was sort of black and white and stars or like galaxy or whatever. Here's the February calendar, and sometimes on the left side of the calendar pages I like to do a little quote or like a focus or a goal for the month. On these calendar days, I usually write any events that I have to do that day, or if I have assignments that are due or tests coming up or stuff like that, so that when I'm doing weekly things I can go back and look and see what I already have planned for that week. This is more of the February weeklies, which I did a purple and star theme for more weeklies. Here's a divider for March. I decided for March that I would do like a little collage of like things that happened during March. Here is the March calendar page, which I did. This side is all of like some of my favorite song lyrics from all my favorite Broadway songs, because I was probably like in a Broadway kick during March. Yep. And here's some March weeklies. More weeklies. Weeklies and an April divider and the April calendar page. I guess the April theme was sort of this teal and baby pink kind of color scheme. I did this a lot in my old journal. I used to just like leave blank pages to draw and stuff because I had a lot of time to draw during class in high school, but if you guys didn't know, I'm in college now and I really don't have a lot of time to do that anymore, which is sad, but this was like one of the pages that I drew while I was in class my senior year. Here's the May calendar, with another quote from another musical because I'm obsessed with Broadway, if you didn't know. Weeklies. Here's a summer bucket list I did, which I actually did a lot of things on this list, which is cool. I always do bucket lists for like when I have longer breaks, because I feel like if I have a list of things that I want to do, then whenever I'm bored, I'll pick something from the list and I'll do it in the June calendar. July. I don't actually like, as you can tell, there's not a lot of weeklies and stuff during the summer because I don't have as many responsibilities. And I don't actually do usually a weekly planner for every week. I only really do it if I'm having a really stressful time or if I have a lot of things going on during a certain week that I feel like I need to plan out when I'm going to do everything to make sure that I get everything done, which more often happens during the school year, and during the summer I don't really have to do that very much. Weeklies, and then this is a list of things that I needed to do for my program in college over the summer. Here's a list of books I wanted to read. Here's the August calendar, and then this is a quote and the lyrics to the song "Everything Changes" from Waitress, because I was moving to college on the 18th. Ugly weekly, and then this is just a list of homework that I had to do, so that's really nice. September calendar and quote, an illustrated playlist. I really like doing these actually. I've done, I think, 3 of them. Here is another list of all of the assignments that I had to do, which was ridiculous and stressful. the October calendar. Does anybody remember when they used to call October Spooktober on Disney Channel? Because I remember that too, and that's why I did that. And then I did this little drawing of a witch. I love this November theme. I did a calendar, and on this page I decided to do a gratitude list, which is awesome for November. And then these stickers I got from another YouTuber's Etsy shop. I'll link her YouTube channel and her Etsy shop in the description box. She's so cool. Yeah. Here's a weekly for November. And another weekly for November. And more homework that I had to do, which I'll finish filling these out when I go back to school in like 2 weeks. Here's the December calendar page. I didn't end up doing anything on this page because I didn't have time because Christmas season was very busy for me. But yeah. Here's more Christmas weeklies with washi tape. And a packing list for when I went to New York. And here is the divider for 2019, which I think is going to be a really great year. Because I still have about half of this book left, so I'll probably use it for the rest of 2019 and then get a new book. So this is the future log that I decided to do for 2019 because I'm just switching it up from that one that I did for 2018 because I hated it. So this one I decided to just leave a lot more open space so that I could write things down and not like be limited by how much space that I had. And like the calendars that I used for 2018, like I never looked at them, it didn't really matter, so I decided to cut that out. And then I used some scrapbooking paper to cut out these letters because... And then I decided to do another Songs of the Year in Year in Pixels. So this one, I didn't want it to bleed through again, so what I did was I cut this chart out of another thicker piece of paper, it's like cardstock, and I taped it in so that hopefully that will stop it from bleeding into the next page. And then here is my January 2019 calendar. I just did this little scrapbooking paper collage. So that was my 2018 bullet journal flip through and my 2019 setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see any more detailed pictures of this book, there's a bunch on my Instagram, which is @GracieCreates. And if you wanted to see anything that I talked about in this video, you can check the description box where I'll try to link everything that I talked about. Thanks for watching. Bye!